ridiculous. It was never supposed to be that big of a government.
I know you're in New York, and they had something like, at least in the last year, where maybe even longer than that, with the soda sizes.
Yeah,
that you couldn't have too big of a soda, because that's going to be all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Dude, those kids are so goddamn fat, though. Those kids are so goddamn fat, and I don't think taking the soda away from them is the answer. But I understand where that's coming from because there's so many fat kids, man. Have you seen them? Like the fat kids now are not like I've seen on Reddit they draw that funny comparison of the fat kids from Willy Wonka, from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory back in the 70s or whenever.
Oh, he wasn't even fat.
What that kid could make some of the sports teams these days. That they would look to him to be like the center in football or something. He's not the fat kid, he's the big kid. Like nowadays, like kids, there's so
what's
much
fucked up about it. I know a lot of people that go to the they go to check out the Knicks or Rangers, whatever, go to Madison Square Garden or the Barclays Center over here in Brooklyn, and you go to get a drink, a soda, and you come back to your seat with this little fucking cup of soda, and it's horribly inconvenient. And it's like, look, I can restrain myself. I can get a big soda and not finish it and run back for another one. I just don't want to keep getting up and down. Why does the government then have to tell me that, no, we don't trust you to make a wise decision because that guy can't or that guy can't? It's like, no, that shouldn't bother me. That shouldn't infringe on how I want to lead my life.
Yeah, I think we all lean more libertarian around here. We all share that feeling and those ideals. It's really about just being left alone.
Problem that you brought up, that's a real problem. Like,
I don't know what the correct solution
We're
is.
not that much older than kids growing up right now, but I know that the really, really fat kid in my class growing up was like, I don't know, he wasn't debilitatingly fat, where it was like, oh my God, look at that kid. He was just really fat. He could still play sports poorly and get made fun of. But now, I was with a friend of mine, and we were driving just like a month and a half ago, and he had to pick up his sister from school, and we went by there, and she's a normal sized girl, but some of her classmates, it wasn't even like, man, that is going to grow into his face, or like, look at that, he's plumping up before he shoots up, like my mom used to say or whatever. It was just like, that's upsetting. That's an upsettingly fat child for a 6-year-old. Like, that kid's going to have weird stretch mark lines around muscles that haven't even developed yet. Like, he's going to look like a freak for a long time.
But doesn't he have a parent? Doesn't he have a goddamn parent that's supposed to take responsibility for a child's health and all that? Like, that's who's supposed to be making sure your kid ain't fat.
But they don't. So what do you do? Do you just allow it to happen? I mean, it borders upon child abuse. I feel like maybe something needs to be done at school. Maybe it's physical education. I feel like
I think education is probably in order.
Well,
like
health and fitness
else,
would be good, but
everyone talks about how education is needed but here's the problem with people being overweight. You can't say that it's a problem these days. You can't look at a kid and go, hey, we need more education to teach children to not be fat, because then somebody goes, well, we're all beautiful in our own way, and Sports Illustrated is putting in fat girls this year. And it's
fat amputees.
That we're accepting
really? Is that true?
Not only horrid health, but horrid behavior and
I like the
all
amputees.
kinds of other things that
I usually have to get a different magazine for that.
Yeah.
I saw the Sports Illustrated cover, and, of course she's beautiful and everything. She's still on the cover of SI.
Pretty in the face. She's pretty in the face.
I was like...
She only lost some weight.
Yeah. Like, I was like... this is not meeting the expectation for an SI cover.
Yeah, if only she was different in the one way that makes her not a viable option for this cover.
Yeah.
If it's that one little thing, we're different, I don't know. We need more fat shaming. That's how I get myself out of it.
I love fat shaming.
Those.
They took my subreddit away.
On every school, on the top, they should put a sticker on the top of the mirrors in the bathroom that says, "Look at what you've done."
I think they should make the mirrors.
Walk in and makes you wash your hands with your shirt off in there. So then you have to look there as you're kind of bent over, that very unflattering angle. You're like, oh my God, you're right. Look at what I've done.
The mirrors should be too narrow for a fat person to be able to properly see themselves.
Oh, that's good.
And the stall doors should be too narrow for a fat person to enter them.
Have you ever been to
They should just put a hole in the floor over there and just write up spray paint on the floor "fat people use," and they can just shit in the hole.
No, there's the people bathroom, and then there's just like a 3-foot gap of dirt and hay, and then it's just the animal section. Just for animals to roll around in their own filth.
Use a pitchfork to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
That's part of the PE for the little kids. That's how you break the cycle. You make the little kids clean out the stalls of the big kids.
Or you just parade them through the stall like Scared Straight.
Ooh, I like that. Can we get somebody in a bell going, shame? Shame.
Oh, yes. All right.
You walk them naked through the halls of their school.
Oh, let's start our own private school.
I like to think my participation in this show ended my potential political career.
I feel like at some point we should get the PKA tattoos, right?
Forehead, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, just plastered on there. Years ago, it used to be for health reasons, or not for health reasons. Like now, it's more people are more health conscious, and that's kind of what they try to put upon people to lose weight, to be healthy. Years ago, it was fat shaming. Like a kid would be absolutely bullied to hell for being fat, and that was your deterrent to getting fat. You didn't want to be shamed or bullied. And now I don't think health reason is that effective.
Yeah, for a child, health isn't that effective. Because what are you talking about? My sodium's too high? Fuck off. I don't care. I don't know what sodium is. I'm 8. Like, no. But if they know that they're called a butterball and that they get picked last for kickball every day, maybe the pounds start to fall off.
Yeah.
Or maybe they pile on and just lifelong depression ensues and,
On My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah, My 600-Pound... Oh, that show is enraging.
Dude, when they are scrubbing their fat rolls with the toilet brush, I see them. And they don't even have to pixelate naked fat people bodies because everything's covered by just more fat. They show completely naked fat people.
It's like, if you see someone who's normal size and you're looking like right up their skirt, you're gonna be like, there's a. But then you'll see this big fat mammoth sitting there with legs just kind of splayed out like a toddler's because there's so much fat, there's nothing holding them together. And you look right up their legs and it's like there's nothing blurred there because it's just a wet crease of thigh meat.
Dude, so we were watching belly button fucking videos on this show.
It's
and then accidentally, like, the thumbnail gets shown. There's nothing bad about it. Like, you can't see any genitals.
Cover worth of
Just
skin.
think about it, Anthony. If you've got a chick who's 400 pounds, her belly button's like 6 or 7 inches deep.
Got to been tight,
right?
Probably.
Yeah, it's tight as fuck, and you can't get that belly button pregnant. But then we started discussing the awful STDs you might get from a belly button fuck. So I don't know. It's a crapshoot with that.
I think you could get a yeast infection from her belly button.
I think you could grow some sort of mutant race of belly button people in there. God knows what could happen with all the Dorito dust in there and shit.
How civilizations
something
begin.
Coming out after your dick, like that thing that came out of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Big space worm.
Well, of course, we brought it back to belly button fucking. I was hoping
no way it comes back to belly button fucking.
That was a really...
That's all about.
The whole first half of that video, it's like a surreal experience, almost like you'd see it in an art show where you're wondering what's happening, like why, what happened in this person's life.
If you don't think I'm going to that, the second we're done with this show,
enjoy. Make sure you find the fat chick because the skinny chick's belly button.
Oh wait,
it's a snuff film. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't even.
It looks like there's internal damage occurring. Taylor, maybe you can't say. Maybe you should just say, "What's the largest woman you would have sex with?" But my question originally was, "What's the largest woman you have had sex with?"
Right.
So would have sex with.
Yes, that's the way.
How tall?
You tell me, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Like 6'4", 6. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Probably mid 100s, high 100s.
Really?
That's like basic. That's just a.
So you're just talking about a girl with a little bit of a belly and a paunch and big thighs.
Once you get to like 200, that's almost more like a mental hurdle of like, wow, this is a big, like a guy who weighs 200 pounds is either probably a little overweight or he's pretty tall or he's in good shape. A girl who's 200 pounds, very rarely is she just really tall or really ripped, you know?
But back to the Sports Illustrated fat model. I'm sure she weighs maybe the same or more than a regular girl that would look terrible with that weight on her.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You do her because she's kind of proportioned for a big fat girl.
Yeah,
if you do a Google image search on 190-pound woman, they're not good. Like
They're not good.
They're not.
Yeah, I don't know. There was that fat fan that showed up to my hotel room that time that serviced me, if you will, and she was a big fucking girl. I was shocked. It was. I'll tell you this, Anthony, because you don't know it, but like. She starts messaging me as I'm going to Florida, and this girl starts messaging me, and she sends me some pictures of herself, and it wasn't the old MySpace angle where they're like looking up at the camera. It wasn't that. It was one of the angles was she's lying on her back on the beach, and the camera is sort of on her stomach facing back, so you can see her boobs in her face. And all the angles she sent made her look petite and with really big boobs. And so in my head, I'm picturing a woman who at the most weighs 135 pounds, right? Like, not to say that 140 would be some fatty or anything, but I'm just saying this, from what I've seen, 135 pounds, 5'6", that's who's coming to my room right now. So I'm on the third floor, and I'm looking out the window as she's like pulling into the drive and everything. I'm like, "Are you here?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm walking up now." And I'm like, there's a repair truck. There's a bald guy. There's a huge fucking fat whale of a chick. I don't see you. What are you wearing? She's like, red shoes, and I've got blonde hair, and I'm wearing this, and I'm just big fat chick with the red shoes and blonde hair. No, it's not. I don't fucking. It's the huge fat chick, and there's no stopping her because I've already given her.
Oh no!
And for a split second, I was like, abandon the room. Just abandon the room. There wasn't enough time. By the time I got
called the
light it on
police.
fire and leave.
By the time
A big fat woman has stolen my date's clothes.
By the time I came up with the plan of abandoning the room, got somewhat dressed, and then started hustling toward the door, like dressing, like there was a knock at the door, and she was there, and she was so big. She was so.
And you had to fuck her too, I bet.
I did not fuck her. I refused to.
really,
fuck her.
even out of courtesy, you didn't.
Not
Wow,
even,
that's almost rude. She drove there.
Yeah.
she lived there. She was from that town.
Oh.
Did you give her gas money?
So what'd you do? Just like take her out for some
Gas?
sanitizers at Fridays?
Yeah, be like, you know what? I can't fuck you, but here's $1.99 for a gallon to get
I'll
home.
tell you exactly what it is.
Take her to Old Country
That would be
Buffet.
the polite thing.
She was telling on me, and then she wanted to like hang out and do some other stuff, and I was like, no, I'm gonna take a nap, and then I gotta go do another thing, and then we'll go to dinner. And then she left, and then she's messaging me like, when are we going to dinner? When are we going to dinner? I'm like, well, we're not going to dinner. And she's like, well, why not? I was like, you know why.
You know why? You've had your fill.
I said, you know why we're not going to dinner. You misrepresented yourself, and I was too polite to say anything. And she lost her shit. She didn't think I was being very polite, but I was just straight up with, if you misrepresent yourself. I didn't send you a picture of some 12-inch black dick, did I? No. I sent you 8 inches of my dick, and that's what you like. I didn't misrepresent myself, but you did. You hid 200 pounds of you. So that's
You know what you should have done is you should have made a romantic date, like taken her to a petting zoo, let her out, say you're gonna park the car, and then leave. Just leave her at a zoo.
No, that's cruel. See, that's just cruel. I just wanted her.
Wait, would you leave her White Castle?
Oh, get to White Castle. Your kingdom, madame.
What, she'd fit right in with the animals or something. I thought that.
You know, what the hell is God, I got a mental block. Dating.
Tinder.
Yeah.